Hey, I'm Madison Mary and welcome back to my channel. Today I have my Smutathon TBR. Smutathon is one of my favorites, and in December I tend to really like to get a couple of smutty books read. Normally it's because I'm on vacation, but that's not happening this year, but it's okay. We're still gonna embrace that, vacation smutty spirit with Smutathon Weekend Edition. So this video is actually coming out on Friday the 18th, which is the first day of Smutathon. Now this goes from the 18th, 19th and 20th. It's a 3-day round. And of course you can check out the two hosts, TBRs, and their announcement videos. But basically what they're doing this round is they have a bunch of prompts and they put the prompts onto this wheel. And so when you start, the vlog or you're reading for it, you click on the wheel and it goes around and then it picks one of the little triangles and that's the prompt you have to read first. So I'm going to give books for all the prompts. I'm not going to do all the prompts. I mean, if I managed to within this 3-day weekend, that would be amazing. I would be so impressed with myself, but I highly doubt that will happen. So we'll see how it goes. I will be vlogging it and you guys can expect that sometime later, whenever I get around to it. But I'm really excited to go through all these. So there are actually, how many prompts do we have? 16 prompts. I am doubling up on I think 2 of the prompts, but that's it. And also if you stick around until the end of this video, I will actually be doing my very first spin of the wheel to see what I will start tomorrow. Well, today technically, because that's when this is coming out. You know what I mean. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. The first prompt is enemies to lovers, which is one of my favorites. I'm not the hugest fan of enemies to lovers in contemporary. I'm more of it's really weird. I'm friends to lovers in contemporary, but I'm enemies to lovers in fantasy. It's like a weird thing that I've realized about myself, that I have these sort of preferences. But my enemies to lovers are going to be The Revenge Pact by ɪḻᴏᴏᴅᴅᴅ Mills. So we have River Tate. He is the football god of his college. He is the resident bad boy, all that good stuff. And then we have Anastasia Bailey, and she absolutely hates her boyfriend's frat brother, who is the football god, the dude I mentioned before. And they do not get along at all, although he kind of pines after her. And then after something dramatic happens, the two of them end up deciding to come up with a revenge pact together. And this is an enemies to lovers standalone road trip. And that's kind of all I know about it. All the descriptions for these books aren't very long. It's just how smutty books are. They don't tend to go too into detail about the plots, but there are 16 books I'm talking about, so it's kind of good that they aren't that long. The second prompt is Dark or Taboo, and for that I'm doing Priest by Sierra Simone. I have been dying to read this. Ever since I read Sierra Simone's Thorn Chapel Quartet, I was like, priests are something I'm kind of want to read a little bit more of. And of course that is a bit taboo. And so this follows Tyler. He's 29 years old. He is a priest, and 6 months ago he broke his pact of celibacy on his church altar. And that's what this is about. Third prompt is Forbidden. And for this I'm doing Forever Theirs by Katie Roberts. I have been dying to continue on with this series ever since I read the very first book in this series. It was like a prequel, actually last December, and I fell in love with it. It is forbidden for 2 different reasons. The first one is because this is a menage romance, it's MMF. And the second is because the 2 male characters really aren't supposed to be with the female for many reasons that I don't want to spoil if you haven't read the prequel, because that kind of gives everything away if I kind of say anything. But I will mention there is royalty in this that kind of hints towards the forbidden aspect. I will of course be spoiling what happens in the first book in my vlog, but if I read it, you know what I mean? Yeah. The fourth prompt is Royalty. Now of course I could just do Forever Theirs, but I'm actually going to do The Princess Bride by J.J. McAvoy. So this is a playboy prince with an American heiress. That's the romance. And so the prince, Gale, he needs to marry her because he needs her money for his family. Not really sure how this royalty is now bankrupt, but apparently that's what's going on. But the heiress, Odette, she really doesn't want to get married. But the problem is that she can't get her fortune, her inheritance, unless she gets married. And so that's what it's about. The number 6 is non-contemporary. And for this I'm reading King of the Mountain by Elizabeth Frost. This follows Morgan, and she has committed murders in the past. And in order for those murders to kind of be wiped off her record, she has to go and kill the king. And this is like the Fae King, and he has his own little kind of secluded area of the world that he like his realm that he rules over, and so she has to go in there and infiltrate and then kill him. Problem is that when she gets there, the two of them kind of, you know, there's just like this chemistry between them, so I'm very excited for that. Number 7 is recommended, and I'm actually choosing one from Riley Marie, and that is Praying for Rain by B.B. Easton. She's talked about this a lot, and all I know about it is that it's a post-apocalyptic romance. I remember when she read the second book, she didn't love it as much, but she raves about the first one. So I'm really excited to have this on the TBR, and I really hope I get this one because I think it's gonna be really cool. Number 8 is One Word Title. And I recently re-signed up for Kindle Unlimited because every Christmas they do like a 99 cents 2-month thing. So every Christmas I sign up for it for 2 months. So now I have Kindle Unlimited again, which means I could finally get access to Stuffed by Mink. Now, Mink writes a lot of extremely smutty, like really, really short novellas, but they each cost like $4, and I don't really want to spend $4 on 60 pages. So when I got Kindle Unlimited, I was like, finally, I can read this. So in Stuffed, we follow Kent and Layla. Now, Kent is an operative who was sent to ɪᴏᴏᴅ to assassinate the CEO of it. And Layla is just a girl who works at ɪᴏᴏᴅ, but she messes up once and throws out these really ugly stuffed dog toys. And then Kent ends up getting in trouble for it, and they end up firing him. And so Kent actually thinks that Layla is another operative who was sent to kill the CEO and got rid of him because she was competition. They end up hitting it off, and then something happens. So I'm really excited for this. I've heard really great stuff about Mink, and I cannot wait to try like one of her romances. Number 9 is a quickie, and that is to read a book under 130 pages. I actually have a lot on this list that are under 130 pages, but I just decided to double up on this one. It is going to be mentioned again later in the video, but that is Mile High by B. Cranford. We follow Bianca Evers, and her marriage has just ended, and she's really distraught over it, and she's currently on a plane. And her seatmate is Lucas, who is currently flying home to Australia. And the two of them are on this flight for 15 hours together, and it's about them hitting it off. So I'm actually gonna skip 10 and go straight to 11, and number 11 is Forced Proximity, and Mile High is Forced Proximity because the two of them are stuck on a plane together for 15 hours. Now I'm gonna quickly, switch back one thing. And number 10 is Fake Relationship. Now, Fake Relationship is probably my favorite contemporary trope. When it comes to contemporary romances and fake relationships, I am all about them. Fake fiance, fake boyfriend, fake just any of those things. I'm like, yes. So I'm doing The Billionaire's Fake Fiance by J.S. Cooper. I have had this sitting in my Kindle TBR for ages now, and I have been so intrigued to read it because the second I read the synopsis for this book, I was like, yes, this is amazing. So we follow this girl. It doesn't say her name in the synopsis, but she just got fired from her job. This man that she worked for was one of the richest guys in New York City, and she's complaining about him one time when she's at a restaurant, and a lady overhears and thinks that she's saying that she's the girlfriend of this guy, and she ends up getting her a free table and all this amazing stuff. And the girl's like, oh, okay. And so then the next week she's at a club and she can't get in, and so she lets it drop that she's this guy's girlfriend, her ex-boss's. And then she starts getting all this amazing free treatment, and she starts dropping his name everywhere until he actually finds out that she's been doing this. And so as a result, he ends up blackmailing her and saying, hey, I won't get you in trouble if you agree to be my fake fiance to come home with me for the holidays because, I need someone. And that's what it's about, and I'm so excited. Number 12 is Winter/Holiday, and of course, I have a wonderful Christmas romance, and that is The Christmas Pact by V. Keeland and Penelope Ward. I feel the two of them come out with something new every holiday season, and so I was really excited when they came out with this one. I instantly bought it, and I was like, yes. So we follow Riley Kennedy and Kennedy Riley. Now, the two of them work for the same company, but they actually work in different locations. The issue is because their names are so similar, emails and documents and everything end up getting mixed between the two of them, and they honestly hate each other without even having met because of how messed up everything is. However, during a Christmas party for the company, the two of them finally meet, and there's some sparks hitting off, and they end up creating a Christmas pact. Kennedy promises to be Riley's fake boyfriend for a certain event, if Riley agrees to be Kennedy's fake wedding date for a wedding, obviously. And like, this is great because once again, it's a fake relationship trope and I am so excited. Number 13 is second chance romance. Now I'm very 50-50. Sometimes I hate second chance romances and sometimes I love them. It's never in the middle. It's one or the other. But for this, I'm doing Damaged Goods by Talia Hibbert. Now this was actually free, it was $0, so I was like, oh yes, because I'd actually seen this around before. So Laura Byrne is in a domestically violent marriage, so trigger warning for that. And when she finally falls pregnant, she realizes that she cannot stay where she is anymore because not only is she in danger, but now her baby is too. So she ends up running away, and when she runs away, she ends up coming into contact with her long lost childhood sweetheart. And so Samir Bianchi ends up kind of taking her in and the two of them end up growing closer once again. The only problem is that Laura is keeping a really huge secret from Samir and it could end up ruining everything. I'm really excited for this. I'm a little bit hesitant to see kind of how dark and deep it is going to get, but I'm also, you know, excited to see how it is. Like if I'm going to love it. This will be my first Talia Hibbert book if it comes up, you know? Then we have Bad Boy or Bad Girl. I'm doing this a little bit differently. I know a lot of people tend to go with the bad boy trope, but I'm going to be going with the bad girl trope. So this is Beneath the Mask by Megan March, and we follow a sexy, tatted up bad girl who hits it off with a ex-Navy pilot slash congressman's son slash businessman. And that's really all I got from the synopsis. It did not give me any more than that. All I saw was sexy, tatted up bad girl, and I was like, bad girl, that works. I'm gonna use this. That's literally it. Then we have New to You author, and for this I'm going to be doing The Roommate by Rosie Dannon. I'm so excited. I have actually seen some mixed reviews on this book, but it's one that I have on NetGalley, and so I do want to get it read, and I personally am really excited for it and I really do hope that I love it. So we follow Clara, and she comes from a very rich family, very prestigious, and she's always been like kind of the perfect daughter, except for the fact that she decides to follow her crush and move cross country with him. Even though they don't actually have any romance, they're just friends. She decides, you know, that she's still so in love with him that she has to follow him. The only problem is that when she gets to the apartment they're both leasing, he has actually bait and switched her and he decided to sublease himself. So she gets there and she now has this strange dude as a roommate who she has like no idea who he is. And that guy is Josh. And that's all I know. It's about the two of them. So I'm personally really excited for this, and I do hope this comes up because I would like to formulate my own opinions on it, and yeah. And then number 16 is An Author You Love. This is the final prompt, and for this, of course, I had to do Harvest of Sighs by Sierra Simone. This is the third book in the Thornchapel series. I'm really excited. I do really want to get this quartet finished with. It is one of my favorites. It is what really got me into, you know, polyamorous and just, you know, menage and all those kind of thing romances, and so I count a lot to Sierra Simone. She is one of my favorite all-time authors, and so I'm very excited. I really hope this one comes up because I really do want to get this book read. And yes, those are all 16 books that I'm going to be reading. Now I'm going to, how am I going to do this? How am I going to show you guys what I do with this wheel? Because I'm a bit lazy right now and I don't really feel like finding where my phone is and doing like a whole screen grab that way. So I think I'm just going to pull it up on my laptop right now. And we're gonna do it this way, okay? I know that you guys can't really see it, but it's fine. I promise in the vlog when I do this, it'll be a screen grab, but for right now, it's not. Okay. Smutathon wheel, click to spin. Oh, okay, so the very first one that came up is Forced Proximity. Cool. Okay, so that means I'll be reading Mile High. So yes, that is what the vlog will start out with. But you can at least know that that is one I definitely will be reading. Please comment down below if you are also going to be participating in Smutathon and if you will have a vlog out or something, because I love watching Smutathon vlogs because it's a great way for me to find out, like, you know, new smutty romances, because there are so many out there that it's really hard to figure out like which ones are gems and which ones aren't. And yeah, that's it. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, thanks a bunch. Bye!